Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with the grand finals of Kings of the Storm, weekly number 5. I'm Solid Jake.
I am Kubi.
And we are ready to cast some games. The lobby,
Absolutely.
Lobby is made.
Yep.
But
first map is...
Well, before we get to there, let's take a look at their journeys once more.
Okay.
So if you're just tuning in, you can see the journey of each team. Webcam got a bit fuzzled there, I noticed. All right, looking here, we see that evil... I read a lot of things. Symbiote actually dominated Cloud9 Vortex, and then Evil Geniuses 2-0.
Each game.
Each
series.
Each series.
Yes.
Giving them that grand finals position.
Yep.
And on the other side, Maelstrom went over Barrel Boys. This is their first event competing as a team. This 5-man roster makes it to the grand finals in their first tournament. Going 2-0s on every team, defeating Glorious, one of the most veteran teams in the community, in the semifinals. Incredibly strong performance. Now, we only got to see them round 1. I'm excited to watch the VODs of round 2 and the semifinals.
Yes,
We caught the end. We caught the tail end of the semifinal against Glorious, and they looked good.
Yep. One of these two teams is going to see their first loss.
Yeah, you're right.
You're
right. Neither of these teams have ever lost in a tournament. They've never lost a series because Symbiote has been super dominant.
SMG's
in Kings. Well, never lost.
I see.
Never lost a series.
A
series. So it's the first event here for Maelstrom. Symbiote is the reigning champion, back to back champion here of Kings of the Storm. Will Maelstrom be the ones to dethrone them?
And they look strong. Maelstrom looks
very strong. They look very strong.
I'm pretty excited to see what kind of wacky plays they have.
I'm getting ready to buy a Cloud9 shirt. Like I've got a lot of esports, clothing, and you guys are pleasing me.
They look good.
Right after I buy my SMG shirt, though.
Well,
all right, guys, we're gonna hop into the draft.
Let's do it.
And it looks like we're gonna get it going here. 747, good. To go.
So, first map is going to be Cursed Hollow. Will we see the reigning tradition of Stitches being picked every time we cast on Cursed Hollow? Who knows? Who knows?
I'll see. We're looking at the Cloud9 perspective here, and like you said, we got the Curse. It's a pretty neutral map. A lot of teams consider this to be the best map. It's this and Dragonshire. It's pretty much either or. Very few people like Black Hearts in the competitive scene.
Yeah, SMG has stated that they have a large disdain for the match.
Disdain.
For the map.
That's a great word.
Yes. They do not like that map. And I can imagine that they almost always strike out that map as soon as they can. Because I would think someone would have figured this out and tried to pick it against them, but they probably just do not let it happen. So we're seeing a ban on Arthas coming out of Cloud9 Maelstrom. Not too surprising there. SMG likes their Arthas. Arthas is a very strong hero. Sure, why not ban him out right away? Don't want to deal with him. And a Kerrigan ban, that's probably a throwaway ban. No, not entirely.
It's not. They were watching round 1.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yep.
They didn't have to play in round 1, and if they're worried about anyone, it's the new kids on the block. It's Cloud9. They were watching round 1. They saw the way Zuna played with that Nazebo, Kerrigan, Arthas composition. Arthas, Kerrigan both out. Don't have to worry about it. But you know what? SMG runs Kerrigan too.
It's true.
But
Kerrigan, yeah. I mean, Zuna has a very scary
Arthur runs Kerrigan.
Arthas has a very scary Kerrigan.
Yeah, so that's... And both teams have good Arthas players, so that's interesting. First pick.
Tychus. Yes, we're seeing a Tychus picked up. No surprises there. Tychus is a very, very strong hero. And then we see SMG following up with the Tassadar Chen, which is... Anytime they get second pick, I feel like this is almost always their second pick. I think the Tassadar and Chen.
Now, I want to just talk about Chen because it went from, Chen initially was considered really lackluster. Everyone was like, I don't think he'll even be seen in the community.
No.
And they have not changed him, but they have changed other tanks. Yeah. And Chen, Anu Barak, not seen any play today really. We saw one game, and but Chen picked almost every single game, I think, that we've cast, and because we've cast a lot of SMG today, and they've been really kind of sticking to the Chen.
Okay, so following this, we see Cloud9 Maelstrom is picking up Falstad Vala, so they're just securing all their damage in one fell swoop right there. Get it, Falstad? All right.
Oh, goodness.
Illidan Uther will then be picked up almost immediately after. They probably had it ready, typed up. They knew what they were going to go with. So Illidan Uther, I imagine we'll see Soldier on Illidan once again. He's looked really strong so far, making some really crazy plays. Picks up tons and tons of ganks on that. And Uther, of course, Mad Timmy has been looking quite strong on Uther as well. And we see the Brightwing Stitches. There he is. Stitches always picked on Cursed Hollow.
Almost every single time. Brightwing Stitches here for Cloud9. Brightwing Stitches, Falstad.
Who is going to be their last pick?
Tychus.
Not in SMG fashion. They usually are, bam, right there. I think they tend to forget to announce their last pick, but...
So there's a lot of damage on the Cloud9 side, but looking here, we have Zagara as the final pick for Symbiote. Zagara filling out that other slot. Nope. Middle slot, there is in fact a hero there, and it just happens to be Tassadar? Tassadar, yeah, that's who it is. It's Tassadar in the middle slot there. So I know we can't see him there. That's a little bit of a bug here in the alpha.
Yep, they'll have it fixed soon enough.
Come the beta, 5 weeks from now.
Yep, January 13th. Who's excited? I'm excited.
January 13th. So, guys, if you're new to Heroes of the Storm and this is your first time watching a tournament and you're not signed up for the beta, go to battle.net, sign up for the beta. But here we go into the finals, the grand finals of Kings of the Storm, weekly number 5. Everyone's ready.
We're waiting on SMG.
Oh, you have to hit that button.
No, that's not on me.
Go, boys.
I am not the host of this one. Not on me. I think we are waiting for SMG to be ready, and then we will hop into game number 1 of the finals of Kings of the Storm, weekly number 5.
Corey, are you excited?
Awkward faces, a go.
Yes, here we go. Grand Finals, Cursed Hollow, game 1. This is a best of 5 series. That means you got to win 3 games before it ends. So you guys could be in for a treat. I hope you have food ready because this could be a long series. These two teams, potentially the best 2 teams in the community. Now, 2ARC, not in this tournament today.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
2ARC is very, very good.
They're so consistently getting second place in all of these tournaments.
So that's definitely a very noteworthy thing to take into consideration. But let us introduce our teams.
Okay, so for C9 Maelstrom, we have King Caffeine, Rockin' Stitches, Biceps on Falstad. Dunk Train, going to be playing the Tychus, Kenma on Brightwing, and to round it out, we have Zuna on Vala.
On the other half of the map, we have Symbiote Gaming with Dreadnought rocking the Chen Storm Stout on his Money Pig. Zagara not on her Money Pig. Terrible, terrible tragedy. Arthalon will be playing as Zagara. Illidan will be played by Soldier. Matt Timmy on Uther, and KO on his Money Pig as well here as Tassadar. Money Pigs, not moving out. Money Pigs, just having a meeting.
What is this?
They're just kind of having a meeting.
Pulling cheeky shenanigans right here. All right, so immediately I'm looking over at the talent screen, and I am seeing, again, double bribe. This is good on this map because of the mobility, how large the map is, and it is on 2 very mobile heroes. We are seeing double bribe for Brightwing and Falstad. Could come into effect perhaps as a curse or a tribute pops down. Maybe these 2 heroes will split up, go take a set of giants or something like that. I'll have to keep an eye on that, of course. So we do see C9 Maelstrom is rocking a 3-man squad down in bottom lane, single man on each team, and it looks as though SMG is running sort of a mirror of that, 3 people at top lane, and we see Brightwing appropriately rotate up to deal with this. It is a hard push, especially with Zagara there.
Yeah, Zagara alone can push like a boss, but you give her the sustain with, you know, just the comfort and the heals, and just
the vision and
everything. Like everything you have here just allows her to do a lot of work. And you know, we saw this from SMG in multiple games here in Cursed Hollow. They don't care about the first 2 tributes. They do not care.
Consistently.
They said, look, if we can get experience on the towers, we're going to take towers. And Arthalon, his Zagara is actually terrifying.
It's so scary.
It's terrible.
Probably has the best Zagara
in the world,
in the community.
I would say, I would say of all the Zagaras I've ever seen, his is almost as good as mine. No, it's far better than mine. He's very, very good at the game, and you know, just getting the value here, getting the extra pressure on those towers, and getting the 400 experience from every tower you kill is gonna mean something. But Cloud9 knows what's up.
They do, and they are having this 3-man face-off in the top lane. Looks to be fairly passive lanes in the middle and bottom. Makes sense given what we are seeing.
Notice the pings. Soldier immediately pinged the path of the Stitches when he noticed he left lane. He's telling his team, Stitches is going here. Like, everyone is playing, you know, just very safe right now. They don't want to risk anything.
Okay, so if they haven't changed the rules, then the period of time between 2:15 and 2:45 is when you see the tributes, and there it is. The first tribute has spawned very early, bottom lane. It is in the middle, so no side gets an advantage with the low death timers to join the fight early again. And it looks as though C9 Maelstrom is getting a pretty good position to start things off. And we see a giant fight up in top lane. I do not know what that's all about.
That's like bizarre, but it's because they're keeping the pressure on. Now we see the tribute's going to be taken, but they're really just keeping this pressure on. It's not really much of a fight, just the push continuing.
Problem is, these are the two mobile heroes. They're already up here. It's difficult for a rotation to come up. Now we see Zuna eventually gets up here, not before one of the towers is already taken down. Bit of an experience boost. They will hit level 6. If they continue to ride this experience advantage forward, they will hit level 7, possibly before them. Maybe to take a tribute, we'll have to see how the timing fits.
My question is, after Zagara grabs this bottom tower, does Zagara change lanes?
Just to sort of distribute that experience gain. I see what you're getting at. It's possible.
Because, I mean, those towers are done. It's a lot harder to get the town hall, to get the keep, the fort, you know, in those kind of scenarios. So why not change lanes? So we'll see. We'll find out. But this tower is well guarded right now as Biceps, Zuna, and Kenma are all here to defend it.
Absolutely, and we do see that second tribute has popped. It is going to be on C9 Maelstrom's side, on the bottom, which means, of course, that the last one is going to be top right, I believe.
Forcing Brightwing back immediately, and you know what? They're going to get what they want, and I don't know if they really need to keep pushing. I mean, I guess they want to. Arthlon really just want to take out that healing wall. It's nice to get that out. It's a convenience factor just removed for Cloud9. But
Once
two
again,
tributes immediately, like,
yep.
not
like
even going
to two previous games.
Yeah.
They've decided to just give it up.
Didn't even try rotating, didn't even try contesting. There was absolutely nothing interesting about it. Just flat up, they know what they're doing, giving it up, hoping to get 10 first so that they can have it for the third tribute.
Yep, so, excuse me. So looking at some of the talents we are seeing here, Mad Timmy has taken Cleanse. Traditionally not that popular in the NAC, but I think people are starting to see the use in it, the utility of having that 1 second of 0 CC, and it pops anyone out of any stuns or roots that they might find themselves in. Very, very useful. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have another fight popping up here, and it is indeed at the top center. Based on the rules of the map, we sort of knew that it would be on the top side because the two had been previously on the bottom side. And C9 Maelstrom has positioned themselves very well, and it almost looks as though they're going to be giving this one up.
They are. They're giving up 3
SMG
tributes in a row. They didn't manage to get enough experience from those towers like the other games where they managed to get level 10 by that tribute. The tributes were capped almost immediately every time. So there wasn't a lot of downtime. Like, this is probably the fastest curse I've ever seen in a competitive game. 5 minutes. And it's not an SMG like didn't know what they were doing. They were hoping to get 10 and it didn't work out. So their plan effectively did not work out here.
But we've seen this time and time again. SMG takes a bit of a disadvantage going into the mid and late games, and they always seem to find those little weird situations where they capitalize, take a bunch of kills, and get a huge advantage going into the late game.
Wow, and level 10 has just been hit by SMG, so both teams have level 10, and you know we see a rotation coming up here, so this fort's going to fall, but it should be all they get out of this.
No Gorge, Putrid Bile on Stitches.
Putrid
That's always
Bile.
an odd pick. Anytime I see that, I'm going to call that out. Gorge is such a huge utility, pulling someone out of the fight for 3 seconds, changing their positioning. Then this time we see Putrid Bile. Stitches will lay down a path behind him.
Okay, well, hold on. Big fight coming in here. A nice maw by Arthlon in the backside. He stayed hidden in the bush there, and as soon as he saw that going down,
scary positioning.
he threw that maw down, but he's in a really tight spot here. Dret is trying to get him out. He's on his way up. Arth is going to fall to the strafe here for sure. Emerald Wind went off, did a little bit of work there, but honestly, Kenma's in a tough spot as well. You know, that was a good maw, but they just turned around and chased him immediately, and he ended up losing his life for it.
Oh,
Will
my
they trade?
gosh.
Oh, the hook was there.
The
Cherry on top wasn't necessary, but Soldier,
wow,
very
the shields at the last second, so clutch. No way.
Was that shield
Come on.
ally and the shield from
Yes, I
Taskbar?
think
It
so.
seemed like a ton
He
of
got
shielding.
a lot of shield in a really small amount of time. So that was really, really nice heads-up play from SMG there. They saw, okay, Zagara saved the rest of our team.
Oh my goodness, the
gosh.
shock and all getting absolute value, and Mad Timmy dodges the hook. You see, just went up just a little bit. Very good heads-up play. He will survive with that really, really nice reaction. But this fort doesn't mean it's safe. Just because
No, I
Mad
don't see
Timmy
why
lives,
this won't go down, honestly. It'd be crazy for SMG to try and defend this.
and wasting a Maw here, if it's even off cooldown, I don't think it's the right choice. Yep, there goes the fort.
Yeah, another 20 seconds before we even see Maw. They just don't have the utility to put up a fight right now. And we see SMG in a bit of a sticky situation, to be honest with you.
I mean, yeah, it's not looking good. The levels are, they're down about a level here. And of course, the 2 forts down is never something you want to have. They do have the towers down in at least the top lane. And but we're just going to see the mercenary camp be picked up here. Knights for each team. Knights picked up for Cloud9. Knights picked up for Symbiote.
So whatever their game plan was, deciding to give up those 3 tributes, it is not apparent to us what the advantage was. Maybe things didn't go their way, but it really looks as though Cloud9 Maelstrom has a huge advantage going into this mid-game here.
I mean, they're probably scratching their heads like Symbiote. You think you're going to hit 10? Not going to happen, guys. And they
maintain the soak in all of the lanes. They countered it
They have
appropriately.
the faster golem. They have the faster knights. They have 2 forts down, about to be 3. Symbiote has yet to take a fort. This golem will help them take the top fort, likely. But the tribute's up now, so we now have to have this contention in the top lane.
There's so much stuff going on that SMG has to respond to right now.
They walk right through the vision, don't even care. They said, we're going to take your wall down, and yeah, when they have the Hearthstones coming out, Symbiote does not have an option. They're getting SMG'd.
This is craziness. This is crazy. I mean, C9. Oh wow.
The
hook.
hook.
I mean, every time we see Taskbar get hooked, it never.
Okay, that was good. The stun immediately on Zuna. Soldier taking a lot of damage. Maelstrom goes down, going on to Dunk Train here, but first aid will keep him alive for a good amount of time. Kenma is gonna fall. Maybe a little bit too ham here because SMG is gonna get 3 kills out of this. There is no way Caffeine is gonna live to see another day. Tribute still waiting up here in the top part of the map.
They gotta back up. They gotta clean up that golem, but they did manage to secure themselves a nice advantaged team fight. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not really sure how they pulled that off. The situation that they were diving into looked really scary.
Yeah.
And it was almost so much that the Brightwing Emerald Wind didn't really quite hit the mark, and they were able to sort of just twist the positioning into their favor. You saw Soldier dive onto Dunk Train. That sort of pulled everyone back. They said, whoa, we got to deal with this. And they were able to use everyone fleeing to sort of lay down a ton of damage and pick up a couple kills.
I mean, it made a big difference. This really helps a lot. SMG got a tribute. Their top lane is about as pushed as the bottom lane, so they're even in that regard. And in terms of levels, they are dead even. Both teams will hit 16, almost identical times here. We got it for Cloud9, and as soon as just about 2 minions die here, we'll have it. There it is for Symbiote.
Seems like Caffeine is having a hard time deciding between Pulverize and Fishing Hook. This could be it's a huge deciding factor for the Stitches player. Do I go for that extra stun? And he doesn't take either. He goes for Imposing Presence, which was recently buffed in this last patch from 30% to 50%. Anyone that auto attacks Stitches, I think for 2 or 3 seconds, takes a 50% reduction in attack speed. Very interesting. I can understand that if they were going for a Bloodless comp, but I'm not entirely sure. I mean, sure, it'll deal with the Illidan a little bit, but you're giving up so much between the extra range and the Fishing Hook or the Slam stun, which is a giant AoE stun that comes out almost instantly.
Yeah, but look what they have against them. They have Soldier, who's been doing so much work with Illidan. Imposing Presence against Illidan is huge. Oh my goodness, immediately mitigating that strafe. It's going to get nothing done at all. Arthalon just kind of soaking up that damage as Dunk tries to do some damage on Dreadnought going in. Caffeine is in a terrible position. The shock and all was huge, and Metamorphosis is used to dodge it. A huge play. Caffeine is still alive, and Kenma is on his last leg as well. How does Cloud9 do this? How are they? How did they win that fight? Everything looks good.
So close. We saw King Caffeine go down to just barely, I think Illidan was hoping to just survive for just another swipe onto King Caffeine, and he didn't. He ended up dying, and that sort of steamrolled the rest of the fight into Cloud9 Maelstrom's favor.
3 members down. This keep
Crazy.
is
Keep's
gonna
gone.
die.
Now, whether they choose to try to end the game here or go for the middle keep, that's going to be...
You can already see them backing off
Yeah,
here. Yep, they're backing off. They said grab the tribute, grab the knights. Don't throw the game here because it can still very much happen. You know what? I like this. They've realized they need to run the normal battle chargers. They're back, being matched up here.
They are matched up. We didn't quite catch that. That is a good point.
You know,
and they're going to take the second tribute here, so they have a pretty sizable advantage going into the late game. They're going to back up. They're going to take camps. They're taking the safe options here. I'm not quite sure what the respawn timers is on the golems, but I imagine that will be the next point of contention for both teams.
40 and
seconds
54.
And 50 seconds. Yes, because they were taking both around the same timer, so going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting indeed, and we see that SMG has spread out to try to take care of, you know, all 3 lanes, keep them pushed back, have as much of the control on the map as they can.
Absolutely. That seems to be the theme that a lot of teams are choosing to go with based on the core health buff. It's really scary to make that call to go in, to just dive onto the core. You have to know what you're doing, and you have to make sure that it's the right call, because if it is wrong, you're going to give up so much.
Yeah,
we see this final tribute for C9 Maelstrom. If they do count this one, they will get their second curse. SMG has only taken 1 curse tribute this entire game.
And they're going for the golem. They've given up.
Yeah. If they decide to go for this, but they're not going to have any time to go up and grab. I'm not really sure if I agree with this decision here. Basically, they've given up curse and they've given up a golem by taking this early golem. Why not try to take a team fight if you're feeling confident?
I
guess
think
they're
they
not.
know they have to defend, and I think this gives them some additional pressure that will get a fort, but without any minions to help tank that golem during the curse, that golem's not going to get as nearly as much effectiveness as it could.
Yeah.
Whereas on the flip side, this other golem is going to get a lot of effectiveness. It's going to arrive with about 20 seconds left on this wall, which is not even here anymore. So it's going to walk straight on up to the keep and just start wailing away, and SMG has to defend it. If we look at the other side, the Giants pushing will help it a little bit here. Fort might fall, but the catapult's another thing you have to consider.
This is, C9 Maelstrom is playing this perfectly. And I realize that SMG has chosen to give up all of these curses, but they are really maximizing all the utility that they can get out of it. They're pushing these keeps down, and they're backing up at the right times. They're not overextending. We've seen only 5, I mean, it's 5 kills apiece, but they're getting the kills at the right time.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think that it's only 5 kills apiece, because it seems like it's been so action-packed here. But there have been so many clutch plays where people stayed alive, but like you said, every single time Cloud9 is making those right decisions, and oh, right there, we saw the shotgun do some damage. Brightwing is down, but there goes Ilan as well, 1 for 1. Actually, Uther is down as well, so SMG is in a terrible position here. They've lost 2 members. The Golem's still alive, smacking away.
This is going to be hard.
They're going to try to end here, but it's...
I think they can.
Yeah, that hook on Arthelon is going to seal the deal. Biceps falls as well. They actually...
I can't believe they're back up.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
If Biceps is dead, though, look how low Zuna is. Look how low Caffeine is.
Yeah, it's true.
When you consider that they have...
that they've lost their Brightwing. That's their sustain.
Yep. So they have to back up.
Gosh,
but
so close
the
to
core
this game
has
out.
taken a good 20%.
Yeah.
SMG not dead yet.
Gosh, I mean, like, if there's a game to solidify SMG as the comeback masters, this will be it.
This is it.
They're so far in the hole right now. I mean, they're going to have to pull out some very, very clutch plays to finish this game off.
Yeah, my brain was going through these things, so when SMG loses this is what I was going to say. And maybe the thought of SMG's loss has brought them back.
They're just there to prove you wrong, Jake.
That's what they're here for.
Cloud9 have reached level 20. We do see a resurgence on the Stitches. Biceps on Falset has chosen to go with Bolt of the Storm rather than the increased range and damage on Shock and Awe. Of course, we see the upgraded Odin gives you the big red button. That I'm questioning that as to why he didn't take Bolt there. It's sometimes a point of contention, but I think having the extra mobility here would be nice. On Kenma for Brightwing, we do see the Storm Shield, which is the AoE 25% shield for the entire team. And Zuna has opted to go with Bolt as well.
So speaking about Big Red Button, I think a big part of it is, look, their core is already exposed, and that thing does a ton of damage to the core. So if it comes down to just trying to end the game, Big Red Button on their core is quite nice.
Could be. Could be. We will have to see, and there is another tribute up. It looks as though Dreadnought will be able to cap this uncontested. And we see Soldier and the rest of the SMG gang are trying to take their knights on their side of the map. We'll hope that Cloud9 doesn't sniff this out, and it does not appear that they will. Is Dreadnought out of position? It's going to be tough for him to sneak out of here.
But yeah, this is rough. Phantom Palace is available. But having to pop your heroic in a scenario like this is really tough. The Emerald Wind to zone him back out after his Phantom Palace was used is absolutely massive. Shock and Awe doing a lot of damage. Every single member on Cloud9 is nice and healthy here. And Symbiote is far from it. They lost one. They're going to lose maybe two. Just backing up here just enough. Matt Timmy and KO are both so vulnerable. Matt Timmy is going to go down right there. There he goes. And Soldier will fall as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this series is going to go up 1-0 in favor of Cloud9. There is no chance of defending
crazy because Soldier had a huge metamorphosis there. If you looked at his health bar, it was massive. And I can understand why he went in to try and get the kill on Dunk Train. But it does not appear as though that was enough. Oh my gosh, and they're poking him with the giants here.
Tychus is dead.
Tychus has fallen.
Did we jinx it? Did we jinx it? We called game.
Of course we did.
We called game. And SMG says not
Cloud9
is
feeling very indecisive about this push here. And they've decided to go back. We'll just take the tribute. Probably rotate back to their knights. Continue to have map control. But I will say that they are playing very passively here. Maybe not the wrong call, but it's certainly on the passive side of calls to make.
Keeping their forts alive here. Not a single keep has been taken on the side of Cloud9, whereas 2 keeps have been destroyed on SMG's side. They've got the middle lane relatively healthy, I guess, compared to the rest of their base. Knights being taken here for Cloud9, and SMG is rotating down through the bottom half of the map.
Okay.
Yep, Caffeine is out of position here a little bit. They're going to be able to body block him. Putrid Bile actually... Is it going to save him?
No.
Oh,
wow.
My goodness.
That was
what
amazing.
Am I watching? Shock and Awe getting maximum value there on Mad Timmy and Arthalon. A lot of damage done. They need to back up here. Putrid Bile. It's the hype stank. It is. It is.
So yeah, he in the last, not the last patch, the patch previous, they gave him a speed boost to Putrid Bile. So
they removed Sprint and gave him a speed boost
on his Putrid Bile. So that speed boost was enough to get him out of there with the slow tacked on from anyone chasing him. On top of that, we saw Brightwing hop over and get an amazing Emerald Wind, which zoned out Dreadnought. Oh, he didn't. He did not have Resurgence up. He used it in that last fight. That's right, near the core. KO is not in a good spot either.
No, KO is going to fall here. Soldier failed to solo the beast here, the golem, and he will be backing up.
Soldier,
he will get out. He'll be fine. That would be GG if he died there. But
we've already called GG like 6 times. We can't call it anymore.
You're right. You're right. Dreadnought is back alive here. 45 seconds on the death timer of our Tassadar player. Grave Golem number 2 will be taken. Middle lane being pushed by Knights. Bottom lane has the Golem smacking away at their core already. And this Golem is going to say, hey guys, the gates are open.
They are, again, taking the very passive route to the victory here. They're putting a ton of pressure on this core. Their Knights pushing down the middle lane onto the final remaining keep. They had a Golem pushing bottom lane. They had a Golem pushing top.
Soldier evaporated immediately. A nice Emerald Wind. Shock and Awe is dodged almost entirely. Mad Timmy pretty low on health right now. Dreadnought falling back. Divine Storm not enough to save them, as you know, just the stun doesn't even affect Tychus. Is that Relentless here in Stitches? Yeah, the Relentless just really coming into effect because he was stunned for almost, it seemed like no time at all before he was smacking away through that Divine Storm again. And this core is gonna fall finally.
It's finally going to fall.
Caster Curse is not a thing today, guys, because
they took the slow route to get that core down, but they finally did it. Every time they had a giant advantage, they said, let's back up, take the safe play, let's take these golems, take the night camps, just keep control of the map, and we'll slowly suffocate SMG. It has worked. Is this the first time they've gone down in the first game of a series?
No, but it's the first time they've gone down in the Grand Finals. I don't know if they've ever lost a game in the Grand Finals.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
The last Kings of the Storm Monthly we casted, I believe that...
Oh, you're right. They did.
Yes.
2-Arc.
2-Arc took one game.
Took a game.
I think they took the second game off.
So, in the past, we've seen SMG
immediately
go back to the
Yeah.
same map. They'll say, no, we can beat you there, and they take them back. Does SMG go back? Now, we can see in the chat here, we ban Blackheart's Bay again. They hate the map, want nothing to do with it. We ban it again. What do they do? They bring them back?
They're going to have to change their strategy up quite a bit. I want to see... It seems as though they've been riding this composition wave, and it's been tweaked slightly here and there, but I mean, typically they've been running the Illidan, Chen, Tassadar, some combination of maybe Uther, Rhaegar, and then whoever Arthon is playing is maybe Zagara or Vala, but they've sort of had this core team that they've been running. I want to see if this gets shifted up quite a bit in this game, and it would make sense. This is what they like to do. They like to take them back to the same map, and they love to just switch up their strategy completely just to see how well, in this case, Cloud9 Maelstrom deals with that change. SMG has always prided themselves on their ability to adapt, and I think this is the test.
It definitely is a test. They're down against a new squad that is currently undefeated in their competitive history in tournaments. They have yet to lose a game, and they just proved themselves as among the best by defeating not only the gauntlet of tournaments, they beat. I mean, they beat Glorious, and that's impressive. And they 2-0'd them at that. And now here they are, up 1-0 in a best-of-5 series against Symbiote Gaming, the kings of the community. The, you know, they're the kings of the storm. As it stands. And the title is very much true. You know, that's the name of the tournament, but that's really what they are. They are the kings of the storm. But are they going to be dethroned? I mean, one tournament is. It doesn't mean they're the best, but it means it's a statement for sure.
It sure is.
It's
only a few teams have been able to take even a game off of SMG, and this is the first time that they've even competed in tournaments. This particular team here, they are coming out with a really, really strong showing. I'm excited. This is, I mean, like, and you know what? I'm sure SMG deep down is excited about this too, because they love this type of competition.
I'm sure they love losing. It's great to not get paid. It's great not making money.
Oh my god.
No, I'm joking. So the Blackheart's Bay ban was false, because it's actually the ban coming out of Cloud9. So Cloud9 says we'll ban Garden, and then SMG will pick.
What do you think? What do you think?